Hi, I'm Fight, and today I want to talk about the second week of the 16th block with my coach. It's been going really well. Um, there hasn't been like a major breakthrough this block yet, although there have been some cool things happening here and there. Um, I'm gonna point them out as they come through in the video. But what is mostly cool is that the sessions just feel like putting in work, right? I'm coming out of like a peak block where I was doing singles every block that were kind of important, and now I'm back in a block where I can just, if I don't have a good day, I can just work and be happy with that and just do my work and know that eventually it's going to pay off. Where the feeling in a peak block is very different, right? You have kind of a big goal every session, and if it doesn't work out, then the whole session is kind of ruined, or at least you have to work on your mindset to not feel that way. But it is very exhausting. Where if it's just about getting work done, that's really all that matters. And of course, hitting a PR here or there or, doing well is important. Pushing hard is important. But it is much easier to forgive yourself for a bad day, for instance. Um, and that has been refreshing. That has been really, really refreshing, this block. And I've been enjoying that. I've also been enjoying the higher repetitions again. It feels like I'm building a foundation again. I'm focusing on making progress rather than reaping the benefits of the progress that I had already made, which is what you're doing in peaking, right? You're not really building a base anymore. And I feel like I'm early enough in my strength journey. I've been doing this for like, what, 3.5 years? Not even, a bit over 3 years now. That it makes sense to focus a lot on building your base and building strength and building size rather than trying to utilize that strength or size. And even more on size, especially for me. It's kind of hard for me to put on mass. Um, it's kind of hard for me to become athletic. If you look at my wrists, I don't know whether that's in the videos, but they're tiny, and they will always be tiny, and that's a remnant of I've always been the skinny kid, kind of, and maybe I have a chip on my shoulder for that through that, um, and that shows in my workouts. I don't know. Maybe that's why I sometimes have trouble with ego lifting to this day, but what I'm really getting at is it's not easy for me to gain mass and gain muscle and so on. I'm really good at working hard though, and I know that eventually that pays off, and that's important. This session here that we're watching was filmed in Berlin at Berlin Strength, where I had a lot of fun this weekend. And even though it rained and my handstand push-ups didn't work because I wasn't warm and it started raining, and so I had to head inside. I did some cool stuff. These overhead presses were pretty cool. I did one set of 50 for 6. And even though the last rep or so wasn't great at all, you'll see. Yeah, there it is. I'm still taking that because for me, that is a PR. I'm eventually hoping to get body weight, which is like 65 kg at the moment, for a few reps, which should be more than achievable. But I'm getting to a good point. Also, the pull-ups, I mean, I pause them at the top. I do a controlled negative. Strictly speaking, I don't think I have to pause, and I should take 3 seconds on the descent, but I think this is also fine. It's more about, again, building time under tension, building work capacity, and all of that good stuff. Was also happy about this. This is dips paused at the bottom and then a slow concentric. So this is not me grinding. This is actually a willing slowing, right? It's I want that to happen, and I'm pretty happy that I can do that with 40 kg for 5, even though that's not necessarily impressive by any means, but I'm happy with it. I also did the negative, I guess, kind of a 360-degree pull, although I didn't have quite space for it. But that was cool as well. Never done that, so that was nice. I don't really have space to do that like for a full range of motion anywhere. Yeah, so it was cool to try that. Also cool was these high bar squats. I did 6, technically 2 count pause, but I think I tried to pause, but it always feels like you're doing a 2 count pause, and then you look at the video and you're like, oh, well, I guess I did pause momentarily, but that wasn't 2 count. But still, 100 kilos paused for 6. Better than it was. If I look back a year, 100 for 5 was still like a daunting set, and now I just do that on my secondary day paused, which is cool. That's nice progress to have. My deadlift still doesn't feel super. I did 160 for 4, I think. Again, for 4 sets. And you can see it, my hips are rising early. It just isn't dialed in yet. I'm hoping that I can get that better. I would really like to have, if it's with straps, 170 for 4 would be nice. If it's without straps, then maybe 160 is okay. But yeah, at least if we're keeping the straps, I want to have 170 for 4. Because I think, if I remember correctly, last year at some point I did, shittily, but I did 175 for 3. And really a year later, or not quite a year, but sometime later, you would expect a bit of an increase there. And really, my deadlift has stalled for a while, which is okay. Haven't really focused on it, but I do think that it is time to attack it a little more again. Yeah, I guess that's all I have. Have a beautiful week, and see you around.